Welcome to Sri Learning Academy. Today's lesson is on wireless attacks. And remember, if you are interested in private coaching, we are here to help. Just message us on WhatsApp. Alright, let's jump in. When we talk about wireless attacks, we are referring to a group of techniques that hackers use to exploit the weaknesses in Wi-Fi networks. Unlike wired networks, where a person would need physical access to plug into a cable, wireless networks transmit data over the air. That makes them more convenient but also more vulnerable to attack. Let's begin with something very basic, yet very dangerous, eavesdropping. This is one of the most common wireless attacks. Imagine you are at a coffee shop connected to their free Wi-Fi. You feel safe because the place is familiar, right? But what you may not realize is that someone a few tables away might be intercepting the data that's being transmitted between your phone and the internet. They don't need to break into your phone physically. They are just quietly listening to what your device is sending and receiving over the air. This is possible because on open Wi-Fi networks like those without a password, data isn't encrypted. Tools like Wireshark or other packet sniffers can be used by attackers to capture the packets of data traveling through the network. These packets can include websites you are visiting, the text of your emails, and even your usernames and passwords, unless the site you are visiting uses HTTPS encryption. Think of it like this. If you send a letter in a sealed envelope, it's hard for someone to read it. But if you send a postcard, anyone along the way can read the message. Eavesdropping on unsecured Wi-Fi is like reading postcards as they pass through the mail system. That's why using secure websites and VPNs is so important when you are in public Wi-Fi. Now let's talk about something that happens behind the scenes when your device connects to Wi-Fi 802.11 management frames. These are special signals that help devices talk to access points, and those are the boxes or routers that broadcast the Wi-Fi. Management frames are like the handshake before a conversation begins. They include things like beacons, which announces a network presence, or probes, which help your phone find known networks nearby. They also include authentication requests and responses that set up the connection. The problem is many of these management frames aren't encrypted. That means anyone within a range can see them and worse, mimic them. Since they are not protected, a hacker can pretend to be a legitimate Wi-Fi access point or even trick your device into revealing the information. For example, if you have ever noticed your phone automatically connecting to Wi-Fi networks you have used before, that's because it remembers them. But what if someone creates a fake access point with the same name as your favorite cafe's Wi-Fi? Your phone might connect to it automatically, thinking it's the real deal. This leads us to another dangerous method, deauthentication attacks, often just called Deauth attacks. These attacks also take advantage of those unprotected management frames we just talked about. A hacker can send out fake deauthentication packets that tell devices, hey, you have been kicked off this Wi-Fi network. The device believes it and disconnects. Now, why would someone do that? Here's one common reason. When a device tries to reconnect, it performs a sort of handshake with the router, and this handshake contains important information. If the hacker is listening at that moment, they can capture this handshake and later try to crack the Wi-Fi password from it using special tools like Aircrack-ng or Airplay-ng. So by kicking off your device off and forcing it to reconnect, the attacker increases their chances of catching that handshake. It's like ringing someone's doorbell over and over just to catch a glimpse of what's inside when they open the door. Moving on, let's look at the sneaky trick called the Evil Twin attack. It sounds like something out of a spy movie, and in some ways it is. In this attack, the hacker sets up a fake Wi-Fi network with the same name as a legitimate one, says Starbucks free Wi-Fi, and if they broadcast a stronger signal, your device might connect to this fake network instead of the real one, especially if it's not asking for a password. Once you are connected, the hacker is in control. They can see all the traffic between your device and the internet. They can redirect you to the fake login pages that look like the real ones, tricking you into entering your email and password. Once they have that information, they can use it elsewhere. Often these attacks are combined with Deauth attacks. The hacker disconnects you from the real network and then offers a fake one as a replacement. And your phone reconnects automatically, and just like that, you are being watched. Now let's shift gears to something a bit different, jamming. While eavesdropping is about listening in, jamming is about making noise, literally. And in this type of attack, the goal is to prevent the devices from communicating over the wireless network at all. And the attacker sends out radio signals on the same frequency that Wi-Fi uses, like 2.4 GHz or 5 GHz, flooding the airways with garbage signals. This causes legitimate signals to get lost in the noise. Imagine trying to have a phone conversation while someone nearby is blasting a loud siren. You just can't hear anything clearly. Jamming can be used to kick devices off the network, block security cameras, stop payment terminals from working, or even to cover up other attacks happening at the same time. And these attacks can target specific devices or to be more widespread, affecting everyone in that area. Now, all of this may sound scary, and to be honest, it can be. But the good news is, there are ways to protect yourself. The first and the most important step is to always use networks with strong encryption. WPA3 is the latest and most secure standard for Wi-Fi. And if it's unavailable on your router and your device supports it, use it. WPA2 is still widely used, but it has known weaknesses, especially when it comes to older devices or poorly configured networks. Another strong defense is to use 802.1x authentication along with a radius server. This setup is more common in businesses or enterprise networks, but it adds a strong layer of control over who can connect. It's not just a password. Each user has their own credentials, and access is tightly managed. If you are running a network, it's also smart to segment it, meaning keep devices in separate zones. For example, guests can be on their own isolated network that doesn't allow access to internal systems or files. This way, even if someone gets into one part of the network, they can't access everything. For everyday users, a VPN is a powerful tool, especially on public Wi-Fi. A VPN encrypts your internet traffic so that even if someone is eavesdropping, all they see is scrambled data. It's like wrapping your postcards in steel boxes and they can still be intercepted, but they are unreadable. Also get into the habit of checking the names of networks before you connect. Don't just assume that free Wi-Fi is safe. Ask someone at the location if it's the official one. Be cautious about networks that don't require passwords and consider using your phone's hotspot instead. Finally, user education is key. Knowing that these threats exist is already a big part of staying safe. Don't click on suspicious links, don't log into sensitive accounts over open Wi-Fi unless you are using a VPN, and always look for that little lock icon in your browser that tells your site is using HTTPS. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you are looking for more personalized training, contact us on WhatsApp. We offer a range of theoretical and practical courses starting at just $99. You can also find a written explanation and a quiz on our website. Link in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe for more useful videos and feel free to ask any questions in the comments. We are here to help. See you in the next one.